This episode is sponsored in part by Lucky Duck Games. Check out their game, Chronicles of Crime.
Welcome to Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Today we'll be looking at board games launching the second half of February on Kickstarter. Real quick, if you're going to be near South Carolina next week, we'd love for you to come to Tantrum Con February 15th, 16th, and 17th. It's a 3-day board gaming convention. We already have hundreds of people that'll be there. If you can't make it this year, we'd love for you to attend next year. We're still working out the dates on those, so look for those dates coming out soon. We have winners from the promos from the last video, and I've already contacted you, and your names are in the description of this video. I have some expansion packs that I'll be giving away in this video. Check back at the end, and I'll tell you how you can enter for a chance to win these expansion packs. Let's get started on today's video.
Aeons End New Age launches February 12th from Indie Boards and Cards. It introduces an expedition system into the universe, which allows players to replay all of the content they own in a short campaign format. Roxley Games launches Pog Throne on February 14th. February 15th comes Eastern History, where 1 to 6 players act as heir to the throne. Those that were not frightened showed courage, determination, and reshaped the history of the East. IDW Games launches Wayward on February 18th for 1 to 5 players. It's a fully co-op board game designed by John Gilmore, based on the Image Comics series of the same name, in which teenagers imbued with supernatural powers defend the world from yokai, Japanese mythological creatures and spirits. In the game, players assume the roles of comics heroes and work together to defeat villains controlled by the game itself. Grey Mass Games launches Senatus, a game for 3 to 6 players. It's 100 AD. The present emperor is Trajan, one of Rome's greatest generals. He has ruled for 2 glorious years. This game is about trying to gain Trajan's favor and rule Rome from the shadows. Players are members of a secret cabal attempting to control the Senate from behind the scenes. By manipulating the system, passing bills that improve their status, and gaining influence over the city's factions, the players gain control over various aspects of Rome. Victory points are earned by having influence over the Senate, factions, senators, and emperor's favor. At the end of the game, the player with the most extensive power structure, the victory points, will win. These next few are on February 19th. Chocolate Factory is for 1 to 5 players from Alley Cat Games. This game is designed by Matthew Dunstan and Brett Gilbert of Elysium fame, and they're back with a medium-weight euro of deliciously chocolate tactile and spatial features in Chocolate Factory. The game features a physical conveyor belt where you push tiles along to exchange and convert wooden custom chocolate pieces. The game really shines when you have literally built your engine to maximize out spatial efficiency for the game's public and private objective cards to win you the game. Legends of Novus is a fantasy adventure game placing you in control of a heroic character who is embarking on a journey across the mythical world of Novus, in an effort to help rid the world of powerful creatures who are terrorizing the lands. It's for 1 to 4 players and takes about 60 to 90 minutes to play. That's a wrap for 2 to 5 players. You and a group of other movie directors have been hired by a major film studio on a 5-year contract. All you have to do is make 1 movie a year. Simple, right? By the end of the contract, only the director with the most prestigious Oscar awards will get an extension, so watch out for your competition. That's a Wrap is played over 5 rounds, progressively getting access to more impressive genres, higher quality scripts, and A-list actors. At the end of the game, the director with the most Oscars wins. Talon Strike Studios launches Winterborne, a game for 2 to 4 players. It's a Euro-style medium game with light deck building and tableau building. Players will use 3 different characters, the Viking, the Shaman, and the Explorer, to lead their clan and expand their kingdom. The game is played over the Norse calendar year, and each clan is preparing for the harsh winter. Players will enjoy the light interaction by exploring for cards and conquering nearby lands. Once winter is over, the game ends, and the player with the most victory points wins the game. Galacta launches Waste Knights 2nd Edition. It's a post-apocalyptic game of adventure and survival for 1 to 4 players. Final Frontier Games launches Coloma on February 20th, a game for 1 to 5 players. You are a pioneer who has recently traveled out west to settle and build an enterprise. You can expand your property by building trading posts, hotels, saloons, stables, and outposts, in addition to mapping the western frontier, surveying rivers, constructing bridges, and of course, prospecting for gold. Then, to protect what is yours, you and the other town vigilantes will have to get out your guns and fend off the outlaws looming on the horizon. Colossal Games launches Consumption, Food, and Choices on February 21st. It's an approachable worker placement and resource management game about meeting your body's food needs. In the game, you'll play as a character with a particular diet preference to guide your strategy. Over 6 rounds, you'll try to live the best life you can through the food you eat and the activities you choose. You'll need to shop for ingredients, eat out, complete recipes, and engage in activities. You'll have help along the way too. Each round, players will be able to select from among 6 assistants, such as a fitness coach, restaurateur, or personal shopper, to name a few. At the end of the game, you'll check to make sure your food needs have been met and gain points for success or lose points for failing to follow your diet's preferences. Either February 15th or 22nd, the police board game launches called Top Cop. Try to keep the streets of the city safe from perps that Dispatch will identify through the 5 sectors of the map. February 25th, Imagine Realm launches the Guardians of Xobos for 2 to 4 players. It's a sci-fi themed board game in which players compete to gain control over the last active source of energy on the planet. The game is a tactile battle with mechanics of upgrading units by creating links between the Guardians. Big Bad Overlord launches February 25th. These next few launch on February 26th. Adams Apple Games launches Thrive. It's a 2-player abstract strategy game with incredibly simple rules that grows in complexity as you play. You play as one of 2 lotus flowers competing to control the pond. Be the first to capture all but one of your opponent's seed pods and win this game of tactical decision making. Each turn you move a piece, then add 2 additional pegs to any of your pieces, giving them more possibilities for movement on future turns. Oracle's Game is a 2 to 10 player, team-oriented combat strategy board game with augmented reality. Designed to work with its exclusive free mobile application to elevate board game to a whole new level. Players will split into 2 teams, choose a leader on each side, and start the game with the goal to occupy the enemy's tavern. North Star Games launches Oceans, a game for 2 to 5 players. It's an engine builder where the world of science is disrupted at the seams by scientific phenomena too outlandish to be believed. Players must adapt to the changing environment with an interconnected ecosystem that can thrive in the face of the inevitable march of time and the natural struggle of predators seeking to survive. Utopia Games launches Mini Miners for 2 to 4 players. Players will hire and equip dwarves to send them in a very hazardous mine, try to collect as much gold as possible, and escape with it. Contention Games launches Imperium, the Contention, for 2 to 4 players. 6 civilizations clash in an ancient war of ascension known as the Contention. Experience the world's first 4X card game with deck customization, area control, and ship movement. Choose from one of the 6 pre-constructed decks or build your own from a complete collection of over 300 cards. Forbidden Games launches an expansion to Railroad Rivals called Robber Baron. It's the tile drafting and tile laying game. WYSIWYG launches Planet of the Apes on February 28th. It's an action-packed game of combat and strategy for 1 to 4 players. Players command teams of apes or humans, moving across innovative 3-dimensional game boards as they battle for the future of the planet. Fight Your Friends launches February 28th. These next few launch the end of February. Big Kid Games launches ComplexCity for 2 to 4 players. You play in your city using tiles that show the habitats of various alien species. When you form your complexes with these habitat tiles by enclosing habitats with transport rails, you can use the aliens' abilities to further develop your city, affect your opponent's cities, or influence the various ambassadors. At the end of each cycle, you will compare your city to the cities designed by the neighbors to either side of you and gain influence accordingly. If you have the most influence at the end of 3 cycles, your plan is used by the USF to save Sector 1357 and you win the game. Crooked Tower Games launches Wizardz Bluff. Ice Makes is launching Age of Civilization at the end of February, a pocket-sized Civ game for 1 to 4 players. Check out our friends over at Heavy Cardboard who did a playthrough of this game on their channel. And I'm still checking on dates and more information from Two Tomatoes, who are launching Vae Victis. And I heard there's going to be a campaign for Brazil, Madeira, and Zango soon.
So from this list, Tantrum House will be doing videos for Wayward from IDW Games. That's a wrap. Winterborne, Coloma, Consumption, and Thrive. Now, usually we do our own Kickstarter campaign to raise money for Tantrum House in February. We decided to push that back into April. We are securing some cool promos and board game bundles and some other cool secret stuff that I can't talk about right now, but we will be revealing over the next few weeks and months. So look for our Kickstarter campaign to launch on April 2nd. So how can you enter for a chance to win one of these cool expansion packs? This one is Horizons. The expansion is called Extermination from Daily Magic Games. And this one is Imperial Settlers. The Empire Pack 3 is a magic number. In the comments below, tell me what Kickstarter campaign you just missed your cutoff to go into your collection. Maybe it was a campaign from 2018 or one of the recent campaigns from the early 2019. Tell me in the comments below, and I will randomly pick a winner in a couple weeks for these expansion packs. Well, thanks for joining me on this video. Be sure to subscribe to Tantrum House, and we'll look forward to the next one coming soon. This episode is sponsored in part by Colossal Games. Check out their game Consumption on Kickstarter February 21st.